Hello, and welcome back. This is your anchor Shrey, live from Toronto. This just in. Our very own Channel 6 reporter has confronted an ambitious individual whose name, I believe, is Santiago. Santiago is a boy who's on a path to achieve his personal legend. This young man is a talented individual who possesses an envious job. What may this craving occupation be, you may ask? Santiago is a shepherd. Oh yeah, he owns sheep too.
All right, thanks, Shrey. Now, right behind me, you have the young boy, Santiago, who I had the pleasure of meeting this morning. So, Santiago, there's been many talks about you around the Andalusia region and as an interested shepherd, but I can tell you just being in your presence makes me wonder if you are truly cloyed with just being a shepherd. Who exactly are you, and why exactly did you choose your personal calling as a shepherd?
You see, sheep and I are currently taking a temporary residence at this abandoned church. You see, we don't have a permanent stay. Instead, we rove place to place.
So what exactly is going through your mind right now? Can you relate? Just take me through your thought processes.
I'm just focused on taking care of my sheep right now, sir. But recently, I've noticed that I'm totally surfeited with just being a shepherd. Something deep within me is stirring, and I believe that I'm something more. And another thing, there's been a recurring dream going on in my head. It's calling me to this goal that I cannot formulate in my head.
Interesting, Santiago. Now back to you, Shrey.
Now thanks, Brendan. So I took a lot away from the previous segment. As Santiago mentioned, he had a recurring dream. This suggests that Santiago has received his call to action. I really believe that Santiago is going to engage on a journey to find a treasure that is calling to him. And another thing that I found very interesting is that Santiago is taking refuge at a church. Now I'm just going to go ahead and connect that Santiago's dream and making residence in a church suggests that Santiago's calling is a calling from God. And now a quick word from our sponsors. Buy this right now! Hello! This sword was the exact sword that Santiago desired on his path for his personal legend. You can see here how the sword's slender build allows the sword to glide on air very smoothly. But this sword is more than just a sword or a weapon. This sword foreshadows how Santiago is going to crave for vengeance. Right after Coelho gives us an insight into Santiago's thoughts of the sword. A thief robs Santiago. Since the sword represents violence, it represents vengeance. The sword also represents how Santiago obsesses over materialistic goods, which corrupts the personal legend. So if you are looking for revenge and want to be shallow, come to And now, guys, our reporter Brendan has followed Santiago to a plaza. We are receiving updates that Santiago has just finished conversing with an old king. And now to Brendan for more information.
All right, thanks, Shrey. Yeah, we're just outside the plaza where Santiago has just finished conversing with the old king of Salem. I was paying close attention to their conversation, and I picked up on how our anchor Shrey's suspicion was confirmed by the king. Now, the king talked to Santiago about how there was a personal legend for him to fulfill. Now, he's right over here. Now, Santiago, can you please inform me about the conversation you had? Come, my friend. Take a seat.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. So, tell me about the conversation you had.
Yes, the old king of Salem did indeed help me realize my personal legend. To take this a step further, he reminded me of my personal calling or dream. Because of him, I'm able to believe in this personal calling. The king of Salem claims he is magical. He can turn into many forms to prevent people from abandoning their dream. He is a tenacious symbol reminding each and every one of us, even you, to follow our dreams.
That's really great, buddy. Thanks for talking to me.
Now, Santiago's visit to the plaza is what I believe to be when he first meets his wise mentor. Now, this is very important because Santiago is a very unfledged boy, and the old age of the king signifies his wisdom. Now, back to you, Brendan.
All right, thanks, Shrey. Now, right over here, Santiago is employed as a crystal merchant salesman. It appears that he was recently robbed, and he needs a job to achieve financial stability. So, hello, Santiago. Looks like you're working hard. So, what exactly are you doing here?
Come, let's talk. As you know, I was recently robbed by a stranger who I barely trust. Back at the plaza, I met an old king who had promised me that if I followed the omens, I would achieve my personal legend. You can see. But here I am, in the middle of a city I barely know, with no money. I followed all the omens, but I'm left with less than before.
All right, I understand your frustration, but do you believe that this was a blessing in disguise?
Maybe so. I have to make the best of my situation.
All right, can you describe to me the culture around here?
Sure. The culture of Tarifa differs from the Andalusian region. The people here wear long Arab gowns, like I'm wearing right now, hence the clothes. That is why I chose to assimilate with the people and blend in. People here also speak Arabic, but I have noticed they also speak Spanish. I have noticed that when a person desires to convey their message to someone, some universal language enables them to do so.
All right, thank you, sir.
Hello there. Welcome to Santiago's Journey Tours. Do you want to go on the path that leads to Santiago's personal legend? The wise man once said that you have to focus on the journey itself while maintaining focus on the destination. Let's take you through what this journey will be like.
The plaza.
Hello there. I didn't see you. Anyways, the plaza is the main attraction of the ordinary world. Santiago is very accustomed here. The ordinary world in the plaza is very cosmopolitan. But here, alcohol is permitted and societal restrictions are void. So the main religion in the ordinary world is Christianity. And yeah, that's about it for the plaza.
Tangier.
So Tangier is the threshold where Santiago crosses over from a foreign society. So as you can see, in Tangier, it's a very busy town. Tangier is more conservative than the plaza, but Islam is the prominent religion here, and alcohol is not permitted as a result of that. So, Arabic is the main language, and long Arab clothes are worn here. Santiago starts to assimilate here by learning how to communicate through the universal language.
Welcome to the oasis.
So, the Oasis is an ultra-conservative society. Islam is a religion here, which causes alcohol to be taboo. So, married women are not allowed to speak to other men here. And the luscious trees dominate the region, as you can see here. And if you look up there, you can see some dates. Oh yeah, this place is immune to war because the Oasis is dominated by many women and children that are out there. That's the Oasis.
Call 678-428-49. If you're 18 or older, order your package now. Hope you see you there.
All right, thank you, sir. Now, if we quickly look up there, we can see Santiago talking to something. Something, go look, look.
Oh, the mighty wind! You are the basis of life. You provide the whole world with sustenance. You are the most powerful force of nature. But can you turn me into the wind so I can be like you? What? No! Can you at least blow the wind so that the dust will block my view to the sun?
Whoa!
Oh, sun, I have been redirected to you by the wind. You are the most powerful.
Thank you, Brendan. Back to you with the update.
Thank you, Shrey. Santiago is quite far into the desert. He is apparently taking residence in an oasis. Now, Santiago, that is a magnificent tent. Can you please show me around the tent?
Yeah, sure. Yes, let me show you around. On a daily basis, I will wander around this watering hole waiting for a girl that desired to come by the watering hole. At first, when I tried conversing with her, she would remain distant. But now she has become more accepting of me. Right over here is my tent. The chief of the village has mandated that each tent will have more than one occupant, so I must share this tent.
Well, that is a very nice tent. Now, how do you feel about this girl?
When I met her at first, I thought that this was the treasure in my personal legend. I believed that all the omens I had been deciphering were for this. But then I met an alchemist who enlightened me and told me that I still have a personal legend to follow. I realized that love should never stop me from achieving my goal.
Wow, thank you. Now, back to you, Shrey.
Come to Santiago's bank where we give all our tour money away to strangers you do not trust. The concept derived from Santiago's ignorant nature when he gives all his money away. Want to be as intelligent as Santiago? Then be with Santiago's bank today.
Come over here, hurry, this way. We have just stumbled upon Santiago at his final destination. It seems that Santiago is very content. What is it that you found?
Yes. I have unearthed what anyone would have thought of. Gold. However, it was not the gold that was my treasure. It represents something much more gargantuan. The gold is a reminder of success in my personal calling. It evokes all the hardships and obstacles that really was a blessing in disguise. And most importantly, this gold evokes all that world has taught me. Because of this gold, I was able to discover the language and soul of the world. Yes, my intended purpose was to find this gold, but I realized it was something much more titanic.
Very interesting. Now back to you, Shrey.
Wow, this has been an overwhelming experience. But to help our viewers out, we have detailed a map of where Santiago has visited. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our field reporter, Brendan Trainer.
Hello.
Over to the side, please.
All right. Thank you all. If I were to say this was an interesting experience, I would be undermining the past few days. So I first met Santiago. We were at the church. At this church, I really believe that was where he was called to action. When he visited the plaza, the old king enlightened Santiago about his personal legend. Santiago then went to the crystal merchant as a place of refuge. There he learned that his omens always turned out to be a blessing. From there on, Santiago goes to the oasis where he questions his decisions to go on. Then, due to all his hard work, Santiago achieves his goal.
And now, thank you guys for tuning in.